national organization, National Civil and Human Rights Organization, they have called for a national boycott of Dennys. Hashtag boycott Dennys. Let's do it this way. If you recall the initial incident that sparked this, here it is.
So, to make the situation more calm, because we do have a lot of people here, it would just be nice if you guys could leave, but we aren't. I can't wait on you guys. I have no idea. I'm not in the situation, but she just to make it more calm, she said you guys can calmly leave because we do have a lot of people around, or the police will be on the way because they are.
Can we talk outside real quick? Yo, record this. I am. Can we talk outside real quick? Outside here. It's crazy. Refusing to serve us.
They were refused service, according to the gentlemen, who are truckers, by the way. They simply were looking to eat, nothing more. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. And then something else happens. We do speak with these two gentlemen, great people. Here it is.
And he goes, excuse me, we're ready to place our order. And she goes, I don't like you yelling at me. He didn't yell. He wasn't rude. Nobody was out of the ordinary. And then he goes, I just wanted to say we're ready to place our order. And then she goes, well, I don't need you people calling me over to this table like that. Then after that, he said, but I saw that you serving other people, and we just want to let you know that we're ready to place our order. Because like we said, we're not thinking racism or anything like that. So then she goes, you know what? I'm not serving you people. You need to get your stuff now and go. I'm calling the police. And then she snatches the menus out of our hands.
It was just unexpected. It's just something that we weren't ready for. I surely wasn't ready. We went in there, wanting to place orders just like any other place. You go to, you walk into. You walk into a place to place an order, and we were just blindsided by it.
Well, someone called 911. The assumption was the waitress who sent the other waitress to kick them out of the restaurant for nothing. That was the assumption. Well, the 911 call betrays that assumption. Here's who actually called 911.
Well, obviously, everyone is under the impression that the waitress called 911. That is not the case. We have the 911 recording. Here it is.
Hey, Tara, I was hoping to have an officer dispatched to our restaurant. We have a couple guests who are unruly and are refusing to leave.
Okay, what's the address?
5201 North Granite Lane in Sioux Falls.
Okay, is that Denny's?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the phone number you're calling from? Okay. Are they being violent or have any weapons on them?
Not to my knowledge. So I'm the regional manager. I'm actually getting ready to head in there. I'm about 20 minutes out. But the team called me and they said they just very confrontational and argumentative and refused to leave the building and just harassing the team and kind of following them around the restaurant.
Okay. Do you know what they look like or how many of them there are?
Just two guys, African-American guys. That's all I really know.
Okay. What is your name?
At the moment, one was what was that? I'm sorry.
What's your name?
Mike Fletcher.
Okay. And they're both still inside the restaurant?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, we'll have officers stop out. Just give a call back if anything changes.
Will do. do. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Mr. Fletcher was not on the scene. Mr. Fletcher relayed information that seems contrary to facts. Mr. Fletcher is a regional manager, as he described himself, but it was his employee, the waitress, who alleged an offense. The employee was not simply an employee, but she was also the wife of husband, regional manager Fletcher. See how that works? 911 call comes from him. Dennys, in their press release, they proclaim they have done an investigation. They fired the waitress who was involved. They look to move forward, but they did not disclose anything about the regional manager. They did not disclose anything about the relationship or the nature of the 911 call. I believe they tried to slip one in. Now, here's what Ricky Smiley said. Ricky, thoughts here?
Brother Derek, man, is a good bro. He's also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He's my frat brother. We often meet every time we have our conclave. I absolutely love him. He represents not only the NAACP, but Mississippi very well. I've been a member of the NAACP since I gave my life to Christ back in the day. When you joined the church, you joined the NAACP and the SCLC, and I'm a lifetime member. And we thank God as Black folks for the NAACP and organizations like the SCLC and the Urban League for taking a stand, because there are some people, Dr. Richey, that just can't fight back. Yep. You get put in a situation like that, and then these people came and weaponized the police department and have two Black men that work hard, make an honest pay, have them step outside. Anything could have happened when they stepped outside. We know what happens especially when you're getting up in North Dakota, South Dakota, where you are outnumbered. You know, there's not a whole lot of Black folks that live in that area. Stuff like that can be really dangerous. It could have cost them their lives.
Yeah, it could have cost them their lives. When you call the police, you're calling guns to remedy the situation. You never forget that. Man, big ups to the local NAACP and the national NAACP for stepping up. I'm a member of the NAACP myself. Gerald Rose, founder of National New Order Human Rights Organization. Let's put up a picture of Mr. Rose. As of yesterday, his organization, in a recent statement, they have called for the nationwide boycott of the restaurant chain because of inaction as it relates to these incidents. With firm resolve, Mr. Rose declared, quote, "We must stay out of Dennys across the country because that's their image." In the face of discrimination and injustice, Mr. Gerald Rose and the New Order National Human Rights Organization stand firm in their commitment to justice and equality. The hashtag Boycott Dennys movement serves as a reminder of the collective power of consumers to demand change and hold corporations accountable for their actions. Here's what Gerald Rose said on Odyssey.
First of all, I wasn't surprised. We know Dennys has been having issues for years. And I'm thinking that if we can just stay consistent, and when we do this boycott, we must stay out Dennys across this country, because that's their image. Like I said, I'm not surprised, because Dennys, about 3 or 4 years ago, the same situation happened. So right now, we need to take a stand. We should not eat and patronize our money in Dennys. We shouldn't just patronize them no more. We should just, support other businesses that really care about our money. So obviously, Dennys don't care about our money at this point.
Gerald Rose, he does the work. He travels across the entire country, stands up for families that have been victimized by entities adversarial to progress and freedom. So we stand, obviously, with those who are saying hashtag boycott Dennys. We stand with the truckers. We stand with the advocacy organizations. And we stand with these two fine gentlemen who simply wanted to get something to eat. All right, Jordan, you know the story. You see the highlights still today in action from Dennys. We see nothing on record that they've done to try to remedy this, even though they talked a big game during the press release. What say you?
Yeah, I think doing anything more would be effectively an admission of guilt. I don't think they want to do that, but it's a shame that this is something that's still happening. He mentioned this just happened a couple of years ago, but not just at Denny's, it happens all over the place. You see, and this show does a great job covering those stories where people are discriminated against, kicked out of establishments simply for being black. So it's unfortunate someone had to endure that yet again. We're not going to get rid of this until everybody works together to eliminate racism in the society. And if it happens in your establishment, in your corporation, in one of your branches, it's on you to do something about it, but they don't want to do it because they don't want to open themselves up, I assume, to a civil rights lawsuit.
Well, that civil rights lawsuit is probably well on the way, I would assume, given the attorneys that are connected to the case. And I also imagine that at some point, the question of why was the regional manager allowed to basically not take the fall, protected for what he had done, which was be the person that generated the 911 call. All right, we'll bring you updates as they come.